Hey guys, Mike Liddicoat. Question of the day today is, how much money do I need to be able to buy a home? Well, that's a common question that we get from home buyers. And the answer is, not as much as you think. I talk to a lot of people who are like, I don't have $20,000 or $30,000. Well, you don't normally need that much. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. We're going to break it down into the money you have to have available in the very beginning, and then what you're going to have to come in with later on at the end of the transaction. So you write an offer, you get your offer accepted. The first thing you're going to need is earnest money. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's 1% of the sales price. Well, not always. Oftentimes we can get away with either $500 or $1,000, depending on the scenario. But the thing is, that money has to be available now, because when your offer is accepted, you're going to be sending a check to the title company, and they're going to be holding on to that $1,000. So that has to be available now. The next step is going to be home inspection. If you saw my last video about why you need a home inspection, you know that you're going to have some money, because you're going to pay cash for that, or you're going to pay for that up front when you order the home inspection. And that usually happens within like the first 10 days after you have your offer accepted. So that is going to run you somewhere between $400 and $600, depending on the size of the house and the home inspector that you use. So be prepared for that. Next, you're going to have to pay for an appraisal. The lender is going to reach out to you. That's going to be a requirement from the bank if you're getting a loan. And you're probably looking somewhere, again, between like $400 and $700 to pay for that appraisal. And that'll happen normally after that 10-day investigation period, or due diligence period, as it's called. But you'll have the earnest money, you'll have your inspection, and you'll have the appraisal. That is cash you're going to need up front. On top of that, you're going to have money for your down payment. Now, your lender is going to let you know how much that is based on the loan type that you get. And there are some programs, so perhaps you're being assisted with that. Also, you will have closing cost money. And there's where a lot of a lot of buyers get confused. Closing cost money, down payment money, that is two separate piles of money. Now, when we write an offer, sometimes we can get the seller to participate in helping with the closing cost money, but the down payment money will still be on you. So we've got the earnest money, we've got the home inspection, we've got the appraisal, we have down payment money, we have closing cost money, and those last two are going to come at the end of the transaction, where the first three come at the very beginning. And then you're going to have costs for moving and getting all of your utilities turned on. Those costs can vary depending on what you're doing as far as a move, how far you have to go, whether you're doing the work yourself or you're hiring full movers to do it. And then the utility companies, it's going to depend on them and perhaps your past history with the utility company as to what kind of deposits and that sort of thing that you'll need. So, is it going to be $20,000? No, probably not. But you do need to talk with a lender and find out if there's any programs you could utilize for down payment assistance, what you're looking at for down payment, what your closing costs might be. And again, closing costs normally are somewhere between 2 and 3% of the price of the home, and then all your other costs associated. Hope that helps you out a little bit. If you have any further questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you with any of your real estate needs. Hope you have a great day.